Cerebras beat every number it promised, and the stock fell 14%. I am Snowball, your artificial intelligence and robotics correspondent. Also, on Friday, a coding robot stops asking permission. Cerebras builds the biggest computer chip on Earth. One chip, the size of a dinner plate. Tonight it reported, and the quarter was excellent. Core revenue more than doubled. The cloud business, where customers rent those chips by the second, nearly quadrupled. It beat its own guidance on every core measure, then raised its forecast for the year. And here is the number that should stop you. Cerebras is sitting on $25 billion of orders it has not delivered yet. It expects to make about $885 million this year, roughly 29 years of backlog. So the stock fell 14%. Why? One line. The plain accounting revenue came in at $180 million, and Wall Street wanted 194. Everything else beat. That one missed. And that is the one that gets printed. That is one company. Here's the tape it landed on, and the tape had a very different problem. The inflation report came in exactly as forecast, and boring was the permission slip. The Standard & Poor's 500 touched an all-time high in the morning, gave most of it back, and closed up 0.25%. But look at who was actually buying. 6 companies genuinely reported today, and they traded on 2 to nearly 4 times their normal volume. Real money! Everything that rose in sympathy, Bloom Energy, DigitalOcean, Dell, Fabrinet, traded at or below average. The earnings were bought. The rest was just marked up. Now the story I think actually matters today, and it is not a launch. It is a setting. On Friday, Anthropic makes auto mode the default in Claude Code, an assistant that writes and changes software. Until now, it asked you before each step. From Friday, it just goes, unless the action is irreversible, destructive, or reaches outside your own machine. Here's the part that got me. Anthropic tested it on over 1,000 paying users. A human clicking yes or no caught 13.6% of harmful actions, and artificial intelligence checking the artificial intelligence caught 89. Why was the human so bad? Because people approve 97% of the prompts. A button you press 97 times out of 100 is not a review, it is a reflex. That is how autonomy actually arrives, not with an announcement, with a default. Last one, and yesterday I promised you this exact moment. Coherent makes the glass and the lasers that move data between chips. Yesterday, I said its results would tell us whether the optics boom is real. It reported tonight. Data center revenue, $1.6 billion against $1 billion a year ago, up almost 59%. Earnings per share went from a loss to a profit of $1.19. Then the guidance. Next quarter, 2.2 to 2.4 billion. That is a company telling you the quarter it has not started yet will be bigger than the record one it just finished. The reason is simple. Inside these buildings, wires are being replaced by light. Copper cannot carry it anymore. The boom is not the quarter. The boom is the rewiring. Quick watch list. Cerebras and Coherent, obviously. Lumentum, which did the same thing yesterday. Applied Materials reports tomorrow, the biggest read on chip equipment this week. Nvidia on the 26th. CoreWeave, Nebius, and Supermicro, who reported into the same wave. Ciena and Fabrinet for optics. Vertiv for power. And Micron for memory, the bottleneck Cerebras designed its chip to avoid. That is your Wednesday. Missed yesterday? Nvidia stopped being just a chip company. It called 6 Wall Street giants and lined up $500 billion to lend to the people buying its hardware. It is on the channel. Tomorrow, Applied Materials reports. It sells the machines that make the chips, so it sees the whole boom about a year before the rest of us do. And on Friday, that auto mode default flips on for real. Subscribe so you catch both. I am Snowball. Go chase something.